Welcome back to the Red Dirt Road podcast. I'm your host, Marshall Farnsworth, here with Alex Breitenbach. How's it going?
I'm good, man. Good to be back. I just turned 20, so last week was my 20th birthday, so now I am moving on up in the world. Getting older, but still too young to be, still young.
Yeah, I always felt, when I was going to turn 20, I think that's when you just start to feel a little bit older because it's like not in the teens anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Then it kind of also sucks because it's like you're a little bit older, but then you can't drink. And then when you turn 21, that's the peak. That's the absolute peak.
Exactly.
And then 22, that's the downhill because you don't have money and, people expect you to.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard people say, oh, no, you don't actually – like you're still a teenager at 20. You don't really not be – like you're not really a teenager once you turn 21. It's some people mark it from 13 to 20, but others just go 13 to 19. I mean, I don't know. But it's like that in-between year. It's like, when you're a tween, you're no longer an elementary school kid, but you're still like 10, 11, 12. You're not a teenager yet. This is the tween year, I guess.
Yeah, probably the early teens is more like high school. You're more, in the driving kind of stages, trying to get your license. And then, the late teens is more like, you're past that, focused on getting, turn 21 and stuff, graduating college.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we are actually going to be talking about Rodney Atkins. These are my people because Rodney Atkins sent you a video directly from him wishing you happy birthday. We will pull that up. So here's the video.
Alex, what's up, man? Rodney Atkins here. Happy birthday. Just turned 20. Just finished your freshman year at Cornell. Huge. So Emily hit me. I'm hitting you. Happy birthday to you. And I, for you, want you to email me. I'm going to hook you up with backstage passes and tickets wherever you want to go and come see me whenever this crazy COVID thing ends and we are finished going through hell. Keep on going, don't slow down. If you're scared, don't show it. You might get out, or the devil even knows you're there. We can take a back road together, brother. Happy birthday. See ya.
So how has the pandemic been treating you?
It's been all right. I mean, I go back and forth because, I'm going to be honest, I really haven't been holed up in my home that much. I mean, I try to stay at home, but it's getting harder, man. I'll be honest with you. It's really getting harder because, you get a lot of peer pressure. You see your friends out, going out, having fun, but you want to try to find a happy medium, what is fun versus what is unsafe. You don't want to push it too far, I guess. I mean, the thing for me is even for my birthday, I had a couple friends come over, but it was, we ultimately decided to keep it stay away from each other, but, still be able to, I guess, interact in a sense, just say hi to each other.
Yeah. I got completely tired of, sitting at home. I was running there for a while, and now the tennis courts are finally open. So we're playing tennis about every single day. In fact, funny story, there's a guy in Lakewood. We call him John Tennis. He's a legend of the Lakewood tennis community. He's there every day around 5:00, and is always he has tennis lessons, and then he'll always just try to play tennis with you. He's this older guy. And he's so we see John Tennis up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But just trying to get out, do something. Probably we've been going to a few bars restaurants on the weekends, but just tired of sitting at home. You like Sprite Zero? A little bit off topic. I've been really into Sprite Zero.
I love. Well, I don't really like. Well, does it have like aspartame in it or something that doesn't allow it to have a
yes, it does have
a
aspartame.
sugar substitute? Yeah, I mean, I generally do not like the aspartame. Anything that's got aspartame in it, like Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, Coke Zero, or Pepsi Max, that's what that is. I mean, it's just that's. I'm more of a Coke Classic. I prefer the actual real sugar.
Yeah.
I'm not a because I've heard that aspartame is really bad for you. I mean, just throwing that out there. I don't know if that's. Yeah.
I'll have to look it up. Anyways, we are talking about Rodney Atkins. These Are My People. Real quick on the video, what did you think of that? I heard he wished you happy birthday. He was singing the song there for a little bit. Going through hell, and he got you a couple tickets, backstage tickets, right?
Yeah. Well, he sent me his email, and he's like, he gave me his personal email. He's like, hey, shoot me up for it. Well, this was my my girlfriend's birthday present to me. It was one of the best birthday presents I've ever received. And honestly, it was just a cameo of Rodney Atkins, and he's saying hey, you just turned 20, that's huge. And so he offered me, he gave me his email. He's like, hey, reach out to me, and I'll hit you up with backstage passes and tickets anywhere you want to go. And then he sang me, after we're finished, going through hell, keep on going, stuff like that. That was basically the gist of the video, but it's awesome to even the fact that he does that for people is awesome. And the fact that he did that for me is even more touching, because I love Rodney Atkins. It's one of my favorite country artists.
Yeah, I was shocked. That was really awesome because he's, I was talking to some other people, he's probably just in the next tier of, country artists. He's one of the bigger country artists out there. People definitely know who he is, probably just the next tier behind, the Brooks and Dunn types,
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that, he's Rodney Atkins kind of encompasses the gap. There's a little bit of a gap between, prime country, the 80s and the 90s, to quote the Sirius XM guys, the between prime country and between the early 2000s country music. And I think that Rodney Atkins is that kind of gap. Because he has a lot of the elements of 90s country music in his music, but you can tell it's sort of more modern, new millennium sort of stuff. And I'll never forget the first time I heard Take a Back Road or If You're Going Through Hell, early 2006. This was when I was really young. So during the formative years, it's really cool that you get to hear that kind of new sound.
Yeah, he started, I believe, in the 90s. But then, a lot of his albums started coming out in the 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I really had listened to a large obviously, I listened to him growing up. He was on the radio, but didn't really listen to a lot of his songs until now. I listened to, his This Is Rodney Atkins playlist on Spotify. So
that's
it's,
awesome.
Kind of his, about 3 hours of his music I just listened to.
Yeah.
And These Are My People. Probably, that one probably is my favorite song. Farmer's Daughter, really like that one. And then one of his newer ones, I forget what it's called, Caught Up in the Country.
Yeah, Caught Up in the Country.
That one's a really good one. That's got a newer country sound.
Yeah,
but it's still very good. I think it still has the roots of it.
Yeah, it still has his sound. That's what I liked about it. Some of these new music artists, and I'm not going to shout them out on here, but some of the new music artists, they're older artists, but they're releasing new music and it does not sound like their sound. It just doesn't sound like them. But with Rodney Atkins, with the Caught Up in the Country and like, you know, that sort of new stuff, like, yeah, it has elements of like new sort of electronic-y feel kind of country music, but it also has his unique sound. And I think that that's what makes him so great. And, you know, Rodney Atkins is like 50, 51, 52 or something like that. And he's definitely, he's really, he's still kicking. He's still got a lot left in him, and he's gonna, you know, I'm really excited for him.
Oh yeah, I mean that's not that old. I mean you can, you know, I thought he, you know, would have been older than that. I just looked up his age and stuff. I was like, I don't know, it seems like he's been around for a little while, but yeah, I mean he could still come out with a lot of good music. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, you know what's interesting is he released like you know, an album in like I think it was 2011, 2012. It was after Coming Through Hell came out in 2006. But he had a couple songs. Well, he has a son named Elijah who is actually my age, who's like almost 20 years old now. And so, like, you know, it's easy to picture, like, you know, the chronology of when he wrote his music, because, you know, he had a lot of stuff going on in his life throughout those early years, like 2006, 07. Like, you know, he got divorced twice, and he's still, you know, holding it together. And, you know, that really, I think, influences his kind of music, his sound.
Yeah. One last thing about Rodney Atkins in general before we get into the song. You got to get, since you got you got the connection now with him, you got to get him on this podcast or something. Like,
oh hell, I'd
or at
love
least
to.
At least get him you know, share it on his social media, you know, like.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't want to push it, but hey,
Don't push but
that would be the biggest honor ever to have that, man. Yeah.
Maybe just slip it in the email when you know, are requesting those tickets, like, hey.
Oh man, yeah, like that's crazy. Yeah, no, I sent him back an email. I'm like, hey, thank you for, like, you know, the greatest gift ever. I just wanted to say, like, you know, how much of an inspiration you are and stuff like that, and just kind of just thanked him for his time. You know, I was very sincere about it. He hasn't responded just yet, but I don't blame him, because he's probably getting a lot of emails, stuff, and a lot of reschedule all his tour dates. You know, he just did that actually. He canceled all of his like early June, May tour dates, and he actually moved all of his other dates out west, like to states that have fewer restrictions on like crowd gatherings, so he could still do his concerts and still get paid that money. But like, he's not going to New York until September or October.
These Are My People, Rodney Atkins. It is the first song off of Atkins' second studio album, If You're Going Through Hell, released July 18th, 2006. It was later released as a single in March 2007. It was written not by Rodney Atkins, but it was written by Dave Berg and Rivers Rutherford. It was the third #1 single from the album. The album ended up going platinum.
Oh yeah.
The song itself, you know, it's the first song off the album, which, as typically the first song off the album, it's an up-tempo song. It's introduced by a fiddle solo and then some guitar. The lyrics are the narrator's description of his rural lifestyle, specifically the friends with whom he plays church league softball and drinks beer at a bar. The first verses include 3 Leonard Skinner songs that they enjoy listening to. Give Me 3 Steps, Simple Man, and the ballad of Curtis Lowe.
Yeah, Curtis Lowe.
I'm just kind of giving my own take and also scrolling through the Wikipedia page here. It says that for the critical reception, it says Jay Poet of AllMusic described the song favorably, saying that it's a string of cliches, the kind of song that can sink under its own sentimental weight, but Atkins delivers with a sly humor that makes it believable. I can see that. I don't think this song's gonna win any awards for being how well it's written, but I like the message of the song, I think, and I like how it's delivered. Just these are my people. He's just, that's where he's from. It's what he enjoys doing. And I think like any Rodney Atkins song, the takeaway that I get from him is he has a lot of wholesome songs. I don't, think they're very, very family friendly, it seems like. The music video I just watched before we got on here was directed by Eric Welch and premiered in early 2007. It's basically just him at a country concert, one of his country concerts where he's performing. The song debuted at number 57 on the Hot Country chart in March 2007. It ended up peaking on the Billboard Hot 100 at number 42, and it went number 1 on the country chart. At the end of 2007, it was positioned at number 4 for the year-end U.S. country chart, and the song went certified gold, selling over 500,000 streams. What do you think about this song?
Well, firstly, I think this is just a down home, roots country sort of sound. And I tend to he incorporates the fiddle, he incorporates, that sort of traditional vibe, steel guitar sort of thing. But it's not to the point where it's like Hank, like Hank Williams Jr. or, Merle Haggard or one of the country classics, those big guys. But it's still a simple song about a simple life, and that's why they say country music is not just a genre, it's a lifestyle. For a lot of people, they have to live this too, and to see it is to believe it. And I mean, this song really, These Are My People, really just symbolizes where Rodney Atkins grew up, the atmosphere in which he grew up. We grew up down by the railroad tracks, shooting BBs at old beer cans, choking on the smoke from a lucky strike that somebody lifted off of his old man. That describes the quintessential teenage rebellion, sort of teenage angst, but from a country perspective, from backwoods, back roads, middle of nowhere, that sort of just vibe off of that. And I'm very surprised that he didn't write this, because I think, because he grew up in Tennessee, so he grew up like rural Tennessee, and so it would not surprise me if he actually grew up this way, and he makes it believable, from the way he performs it, from the way it's just produced, written, and from the way it's orchestrated. I think that as much as, like you said, it's not really a song that is meant to win awards. Songs like these are not meant to win awards. This is just meant to tell a story. This is just meant to be, but not really an in-depth story, just to tell you about, a little bit about where they come from. Every sort of artist has this kind of a song, and I think this is a really good one, and it fits Rodney Atkins's kind of sound. And I really like that he includes this little bridge here, particularly. We fall down and we get up. We talk. We walk proud and we talk tough. We got heart and we got nerve, even if we are a bit disturbed. But hey, these are my people. We're giving this life all we got and then some. That's still even though we have we may not be the best at everything we do. We're still down home good people. And, these are my people. This is who I associate with. This is where I come from, that sort of thing. And I really do enjoy this song. This is one of my favorite songs by Rodney Atkins off of an album that you said, I think, went platinum. You said Going Through Hell went platinum or gold.
Yeah, the album went platinum, and I believe the song went gold.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, because people definitely liked it. Definitely that's a testament to their
I think this song might have came actually as a surprise as to them how well it did, because it came out as a single after the album came out. So I don't know why. I don't know. It might have done better than they thought it would do. I think I could easily see this song, if it was performed by someone else, not doing as well. It's almost is a generic country song. But I think that is a testament to Rodney Atkins. I think he performs it great, really.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and I want to add something real quick about here, right? He brings in, you know, I think what's important about this song are the Leonard Skinner references. You have 3 like smash hits by Leonard Skinner that he references in this song, and like ultimately right off the bat, like anybody who is anybody that grew up, you know, in the Midwest or grew up in the South, or who grew up even just listening to Leonard Skinner would understand what he's talking about there. Like, you get loud on a Friday night, you're listening to Guy Cutting a Rug at the Big Old Jug with a girl named Linda Lou, you know, and stuff like that. I mean, that's important. That, you know, and that kind of just showcases the kind of life that they lived. And I think
it includes other people, you know, includes, I like when, you know, country songs, they include, you know, rock, you know, references, you know, because, you know, not everyone, you know, not everyone that, you know, listens to country music, you know, we don't listen to country music all the time. You know, you listen to rock music, and that, you know, the prime of rock and roll, you know, was, you know, when Ronnie Dunn was growing up, was, you know, much more popular than it is now. You know, rock, you know, pre 2000, you know, it dominated for years, you know, so that's what people listen to. People didn't listen to country music in, you know, the 70s. They listened to rock. You know, that was when that was the music.
Oh yeah. I believe that. And I think that's why, you know, this song is definitely important. It's down home. It's just got that vibe to it. And I think, like, let me just say something. It is not hip in any way, shape, or form to sing about church league softball. This man's singing about, like, playing softball with the guys after church. I'm sorry, like, that's, like, it's not hip to sing about that, but that's real life. Like, most people wouldn't like to sing about that sort of thing. But, like, you know, this is what makes this song so unique, so awesome, is the references to, like, everyday stuff, like, you know, church league softball, holler about a bad call, and the preacher breaking up the fight. Man, that's like then they all go drink it. Like, hey, that's real life, man.
Exactly.
So that's my take on it.
That is Rodney Dunn's "These Are My People."
Rodney Atkins.
Oh, what did I say?
Yeah, you said Rodney Dunn.
Rodney Dunn. Sorry,
that's funny.
There's too many. There's Trace Adkins. There's Ronnie Dunn. Too many similar names. Rodney Atkins, "These Are My People." Kix Brooks' self-titled album will be coming up next from 1989. We're going to be working on that a lot, as well as taking a break and filling in spots with classic country songs, such as Hank Williams Jr., some newer Rodney Atkins, stuff like that. So look forward to that. Yeah. That wraps it up. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.